Okay, my friends, here's everything that we get in the package. Look at She-Ra's face. Look at that. Howdy, friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas. In this video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing and taking a super duper close look the absolute brand new 2025 Mattel Creations absolutely epic exclusive release of the cartoon version of She-Ra, Princess of Power and Swiftwind. Look at this box. This is magnificent. Look how big this box is next to my head. This is crazy. It's beautiful, but it's crazy. No, but seriously, if you're a fan of MOTU or a fan of She-Ra, Princess of Power, you are going to love this, so stick around. We're going to be looking really closely at all of the details, articulation, and even do a comparison and a toy photo at the end. If you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more content like this show up into your YouTube newsfeed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Truly helps out the channel. If you're a fan of Swiftwind, give me a thumbs up. That's all I'm asking. You like Swiftwind? You're here because you like She-Ra, and there's no way you don't like the show and not Swiftwind, so please drop a comment below letting me know, did you get this release? If you did, I'd love to see some really awesome display photos or toy photographs. Please tag me. I'll definitely check those out. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, my friends. Let's just dive right in. Okay, my friends, this package is massive. It's 17 inches tall, 10.5 inches wide, 3 inches deep. This is the mailing box that it came in. You've probably seen these before from Mattel Creations. It's just like a very 90s looking, I guess you can say, box, and it shows the contents right there. We can see we get sword and a shield, an action figure, and a horse. And here's a giant barcode in case you need it, though I don't think this will ever come to retail, but this is where the shipping label goes. You also get this certificate of authenticity. Take a look at that. Wow, it's like a nice soft material. Guessing it's paper. Kind of feels like a really nice velvety playing card, and it has a lot of chrome all over it, as you can see. Wow, that's really rad. I love that. Celebrating 40 years. It shows She-Ra on the front, says Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power. Beautiful. Take a look at this right here, right? Holy crap. This certifies that your Masters of the Universe Origins She-Ra and Swiftwind action figure 2-pack was created through the collaborative efforts of designers and artists at Mattel. And then there's like a nice horizontal roll right there with like a turtle shell. It says 1985. Just kidding, I know it's a gem. And then it says Mattel Creations Certificate of Authenticity. It's seriously like a giant playing card. And here's the packaging. It does come with this slip cover, as you see right here, all of this beautiful gold. Up here at the top, you can see the acrylic top. This very, very much reminds me of the She-Ra Princess of Power Barbie that was actually just re-released. They promised us only 20,000, and then they had to go back on their word and add another 5,000 just because scalpers really, really love Barbie, is what it said in the email. Right here in the center says 40, and you can see She-Ra right there. Really cool logo. For the honor of Grayskull, celebrate the 40th anniversary of She-Ra Princess of Power with this Masters of the Universe Origins cartoon collection, She-Ra and Swiftwind, featuring the iconic hero of Etheria and her noble steed as retro-style figures. Down here at the bottom, we have Masters of the Universe logo and Princess of Power. At the very bottom, Mattel put this. That's really awesome. Empowering generations through play. And over here, it's just question mark because it doesn't know what it means. All right, so here comes the slip cover. Whoa. This is such a massive product. This is very, very much like the Barbie release that I had just reviewed here on the channel. If you like, check that out. Go ahead. The packaging especially. And in that video, I remember stating, why don't they give this kind of package love to Masterverse? And here we are with an Origins release with that packaging, but this 100% deserves it. This is the 40th anniversary. Look up there. Sorceress. Very cool. Look at those designs in the background. The action figure's kind of like in a pose, sort of holding the sword up in the air for the honor of Grayskull. Wait a minute. Oh, that's really cool. The sword looks like it's translucent blue plastic. And Swiftwind. This is what I'm most excited about, is Swiftwind. Really want to see if I can make those back legs not backwards. Like in all the toy photographs I've seen, even in everybody's reviews, they have the horse's legs backwards. Even here. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Flipping over to the back, whoa. Once again, this is like a poster. The artwork is crushing it at Mattel. This is truly a masterpiece. Someone painted this. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Really nice. We'll look at it again without the acrylic on it. I have to get this open. Taking off the bottom, you can see it's just kind of like cardboard right here. Just by itself. It does have the Mattel logo right there. And it smells good. This cardboard, for some reason, this smells like I'm opening up a new Nintendo product, like a Wii or a Switch. There we go. Take the artwork out and the base. Look at that. We have an extra piece of cardboard, rather, to add sturdiness to this, to support it, you know. Kind of just stands up just like this. And yeah, wow, look at this beautiful artwork. This is absolutely beautiful. It's very ghost-like. And it's in the clouds. Look at this. Holy crap. I hope Mattel makes that. Please. Please. The clouds continue down to the bottom. We can see they turn kind of gray. They start off with blue, and you do have like a wonderful like royal blue color, maybe a little bit of purple in it, that blends down to a sky blue here, and just, wow, stunning. Beautiful piece of artwork. Flipping over to the back, this is my favorite. This is wonderful, right? Holy cow, this is truly beautiful. She's causing all of this damage. She's crazy. Look at her. She's crazy. Swiftwind just looks fantastic. Holy cow. Down here it says 2025 Mattel. And does this piece come off? Yeah, there we go. Push the tabs through. There we go. This really is like a cardboard poster. But you can see the difference in cardboard thickness right there. The newer cartoon collection is much, much thicker than this piece. But that's okay, especially if this is going into a frame. I think this belongs in a frame. Like if I had more room on my walls, definitely would frame that. Absolutely gorgeous. And then finally we have the figure here. Let's go ahead and slide it out with this acrylic box right here. This is humongous, right? So the packaging was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. I see a lot of plastic bands on here. It's probably going to be the most plastic bands out of any cartoon collection figure I've ever opened here. Okay, my friends, here's everything that we get in the package. As I mentioned, you do get Swiftwind, obviously. We get Swiftwind's wings. We get Swiftwind's, I guess, helmet or face cover, mask, maybe. And then we get She-Ra, Princess of Power. We get the Sword of Protection. Like, look at that. I think these are technically the same thing. They just decided to sculpt and give us both. So the packaging, the only thing that had destroyed the plastic bands was this right here. Or the way it was placed in there. It did mess up the paint right there, unfortunately, on the sword. For the honor of Grayskull, here we are, my friends. Let's begin by taking a close look at the action figure details. Look at She-Ra's face. We've seen this face already before in the cartoon collection. We actually did get that face sculpt already, and I believe we got the same tiara sculpt here. I do have the She-Ra Princess of Power right here to do a comparison. We're going to do that here in a second. But look at the hair. The hair is completely different. It's a brand new sculpt, and it is translucent yellow plastic. And it's actually very soft. It's very soft plastic. Very nice. And her cape is finally soft goods cape. So this cape kind of looks very close, very similar to the Masterverse cape, but definitely different. I put the Masterverse cape on mine, so whenever we do the comparison, that's what you're going to see there. And then you could see her dress right there. The paint is perfect. They did an absolutely great job. The gold is very shimmery, like real gold. The white is a matte finish. Her skin is a matte finish. Finally, Mattel. This is great. This is great news, Mattel. You guys are making great strides here. And then we can see her bracers right here, her wrist guards right here. They're also that nice, beautiful gold color. I just painted on there. They're not extra pieces that go on her arm. And then we get two gripping hands, just like that. So she can hold the sword of protection, the shield of protection, and then take a look at her thighs right there and her legs. Absolutely the cartoon collection style female legs that we've seen before with those kneecaps. I like that sculpt. I think it's really cool. And then we have those nice beautiful gold boots. This quality is, I feel like, what we should have actually got the first time around with She-Ra Princess of Power from the cartoon collection. I really wish they gave her hair like this. And now that we have two different head sculpts essentially with the hair, I really wish they gave her a different expression so that we can have options for expressions for toy photography and all of our toy displays. The cape does not have any type of sewing on it or anything like that. It's just essentially just a piece of fabric. It looks perfect with this action figure. I think this action figure looks stunning. Truly beautiful. Now let's take a look at Swiftwind, right? Look at that. Look at Swiftwind's hair. Look at this horsey's hair. Wow, it's so cool. So the hair is definitely not as soft. Well, this is as soft as She-Ra's. This part, maybe this part's a little denser in the way it's glued onto Swiftwind's neck. It's definitely glued on there. I don't think any of this removes or anything. But yeah, very nice matte white plastic. Very velvety feeling, nice and neat and clean, professional looking, very classy. I love the, wow. The attention to detail is bananas right here. Like, they did this perfect. I was so worried about that. That is amazing. Amazing. So here, Swiftwind's tail, very dense plastic up here. So it's not very, you can't really bend it, but down here you can see you can bend it. It's the same material. It's just less dense and very hollow feeling plastic toy, right? Take a look at Swiftwind's hooves right there. Look at that. There's no horseshoes or anything that are stamped on there. Just nice, neat, and clean. Now, come on. Let's see if we can make his legs not backwards. Yeah, I mean, that's the best we can get, unfortunately. That's the best we're going to get. If I turn this around, maybe I could, you know, the horse's legs kind of go like this, right? I just wish it looked more like an actual horse, but that's okay. Take a look at Swiftwind's nose. Swiftwind does not have Mr. Ed-like teeth or anything like that. Nothing special in the eyes. You can see right there, no pupils or anything. This is a soft plastic for a face. Yeah, you can see right there, this is like a soft plastic. The neck's hard and the body is hard plastic. The legs are hard plastic. I think it's really nice looking. There's these connectors right here for Swiftwind's wings, and those don't come off, I don't think. They are part of the saddle. So if we go ahead and remove the saddle, we can see the buckles right here. And all of this is beautiful. This piece doesn't come off. Yeah, you can see this piece, like none of this stuff comes off as part of the sculpt. So this is as naked as you can get Swiftwind. You can't put the wings on because, like I said, the connectors for the wings are actually on the saddle. The saddle's a nice, I don't know, TPU or vinyl maybe. It's really soft. Painted really well. I believe the plastic is this color right here, like this nice blue color you see right here. So all of the other colors that you see on here are painted on. This piece is just sky blue, the whole thing. There's no paint on it or anything like that. And it does have a notch right here. And this notch goes into this piece right here. Just kind of, you can see right there. It doesn't really stay in there too well, but it's enough friction, I guess you could call it, or pressure maybe, to like keep it together, especially whenever this is buckled underneath Swiftwind's stomach right there. So to get this back on, I'm just going to put this over his head just like that, bring it all the way down, and then I'm going to move these, what are these called, stirrups right here? Yeah, just like that. Yeah, sorry, it took two hands to put this piece on right here. This is like very vintage buckle style from like Master of the Universe 1982, my friends. But holy cow, this is beautiful. I love this. I think this looks great. Maybe I could pull this part out right here. Kind of go like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool looking, right? Rather than be tucked underneath there. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Nice and neat, right? So the wings, they connect to, I'm guessing, this joint right here. Just kind of plugs in here. There we go, just like that. Yeah. Yep. And it's really nice. It has like hinges on it, so you can display Swiftwind in various positions with the wings. But just, wow, this is so rad looking. Holy cow. Yeah, a little bit better, nice and neat, right? All right, let's put this other wing on right here. As you can see, I'm just going to plug this connector right here down into this socket. Okay, so I had to warm this up, this little white piece right here, with hot water from my bathroom sink, and I was able to get it in. I'm not sure if mine's defective or not, but yeah, it's like crushing my thumb. So I feel like the best way to hold it again is put your hand around Swiftwind's body like this. Put your fingers here, fold the wing down, you know, with the connector just pointing down. That way you can press your thumb against it while pressing upwards like with these two fingers to snap it in. But holy cripes, that was very, very tight fit. That did not want to go in there even when it was heated up. It was a pain in the butt. But this looks beautiful, right? We have Swiftwind partially fully dressed. Look at that. beautiful. I love the gold around the ears, holding on like this metal tiara piece right here, this protector. Just so cool. Really nice design. Honestly, just looks like Swiftwind. Honestly, it's the size. That's my favorite part about it, is like, look at the scale, right? It's wonderful. Look at that. It's huge, like a horse should be, right? Was not anticipating Swiftwind being this large. So I'm going to put on this mask right here. This mask is a soft material also, vinyl, and then even the unicorn, I want to call it a stem, the the unicorn horn, I guess you could call it, is also very soft. You can see it's painted really nice gold, and then the material is pink, and we have that beautiful paint application there, that blue, which is perfect on this one. Holy cow, it's absolutely perfect. I'm just going to lay it over like this. Just like that. It doesn't snap on or anything like that. Just kind of like lays over Swiftwind's face. But you got to make sure the eyes line up, or else Swiftwind won't be able to see and will crash and wreck and hurt everybody. But yeah, that's fully dressed Swiftwind. That is all of the details. Absolutely beautiful. I think Mattel did a great job on this. The only thing I would change is maybe the connectors. Look at the saddle again. Very cool. Again, you can move these wings around. Very, very nice, right? All right, so next up is articulation. We might as well just dive into articulation with Swiftwind, right? So the wings, they have that hinge right there. So they can move up and down just like this. And it's obviously in a peg, so you could swivel them if you'd like to also. And then down here, you can see that there's another hinge right there. You could stretch the wing all the way out. Kind of breaks it a little bit though, but you can bring the wings all the way down also. You can have the wings, whoops, you don't want to break it, kind of like that. Very nice. Look at that matte finish plastic. Beautiful. So that's the articulation of the wings. Let's take a look at the head. Let me remove this here. The head can go down, up, and tilt. Very nice. So I'm guessing this is a ball joint. It's definitely a ball joint. I could see it down around here somewhere. There's a ball joint in the neck here, but then there's just a stem, and the stem goes into the front of Swiftwind's face. Yeah, you could kind of see the stem goes into the face there. That's not a peg. You can't pull that out. But you do get really awesome articulation. Like, take a look at this. His head go all the way up like this, all the way down. And then moving this way again, we do have that tilt. Very nice. It's so cool. Look at that. Lots of really fun ways to pose Swiftwind. Very cool. Moving down to the neck. The neck is on this massive hinge. You can see the hinge in Swiftwind's chest right here, and it ratchets. Oh gosh. And it's very tight. Yeah, there's one ratchet, and then there's one. There's two. I just went two. It's very tough. And I think warming him up helped a lot. When I did it for the wing, I just warmed pretty much the whole front half of Swiftwind's body up. Moving down to the legs. So the leg is on a swivel here. You could swivel the legs here, and you can't really move them outwards. Yeah, you can't really move, at least on mine, I can't. Ah, there we go. Yeah, maybe that just needed warmed up also. So you can move the legs out a little bit. You could get it out to about there, just like that. And obviously swivel, and then down here at the first knee, we have a hinge right there, you can see. And that's on a peg. You can see it spins, so you get a spin there. And then down here, where the ankle is, you can see that the foot spins around because that's on a peg, and we see a large hinge that continues all the way across the top. So you can make his leg broken if you want. Moving to the back legs here, these legs actually do move out. You can see that there's like outward motion right there. We could see that at the knee up here, there's a peg and there's that massive hinge. So you get good articulation backwards, but not frontwards, just due to this design right here. And it just doesn't... Something's just weird with... Wait a minute, let me try it this way. Hey, there we go. Look at that, right? Okay, all right, so that looks a lot better to my eye. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. What I did was this piece right here, just flipped it around backwards and then move it up this way, spin this down, and then move this out. And then you could kind of get that nice horse-shaped leg right there, right? You can see that shape right there. So this part needed turned around also because, again, that design right there, it like overlaps. It comes down further on one side. And if you have it flipped around, you can't put his hooves all the way down to get them flat on the ground. Oh yeah, take a look at that. How nice that looks, right? Horsey, very much horsey. So that is all the articulation down there at the legs. Moving here to Swiftwind's tail. Look at that massive hinge right there. It's on a peg, so we get that 360 spin, and it can go up and it can go down. Tail between the legs, right? So much fun. Look at Swiftwind, just having too much fun. Let's put Swiftwind's mask back on. There we go. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I will just honestly, I didn't expect this quality from Mattel for Origins. Like, this is bananas. I feel like this is the nicest ride that they've made for Origins, but again, that's just me. The articulation of She-Ra is going to be the same as the cartoon collection, obviously. The head is going to be on that female Origin style ball joint right there. A little bit of joystick movement we see right there. And then, yeah, here's the cape. Remove the cape for a second here for this part. You can see inside the socket right there. Just put the head right back on. Moving down to the arm, this is going to be Masters of the Universe Origin style for female peg right there. And you can see it's just a little bit smaller than the male peg. And then we can see the socket right there goes downwards towards the pelvis. So whenever you go to place the arm back in, you just point it downwards. So that peg right there is going to give us 360 spin. And if you look under She-Ra's armpit, you can see there's a hinge there, so we can move it up and down also. The elbow here is on a peg right there, or some sort of stem that does not come out, and there's a huge hinge in there, so you can get bending in pretty much any direction. And then down to the wrist, the hands do come off because it's Origin style peg system right there for removing and swapping parts. And the hinge in her left hand goes into the palm, and again, this piece right here is part of the sculpt, the bracer. I put that back in, and you can see that the hand articulation right there, move in and out that way. And then if we go to her other hand, we could see that it's shaped a little bit differently because this one's like technically a regular gripping style hand. This one is a little bit up, right? And the reason why is because of that hinge right there. It's a different sculpt and a different hinge. This type of hinge is made more for folks holding swords, especially up in the air. Like if you want her arm to be up in the air like this, and she's saying for the honor of Grayskull, she's holding the sword of protection, you can do that. You can get that awesome pose of her on Swiftwind. Moving down to the waist, we spin 360 at the waist, no ab crunch or anything like that, and then take a look at the barbell style joint down there for the legs. The sockets that they go into are on the individual legs, so we get really good array of articulation right there for posing and such. Moving down to the knee is on a peg or some sort of stem. And you can see there's a big hinge right there, so you can get, you know, you get the leg up pretty far. Very nice. The boot does swivel because the boot comes off because of the nature of the Masters of the Universe Origins. Swap and remove parts again, so you can see that pig right there. Moving down to the ankle spins because it's like on a rocker, right? And what that means is the peg that's attached to this hinge right here, see the hinge, is pointing downwards towards the toes, which means like you can get a rocking movement. So that way, if she's in a battle position, twist her into battle positions. Look at that, I did it by accident. You can see she can plant her feet perfectly on the ground. So that is all of the articulation for She-Ra, Princess of Power, and Swiftwind together. Next up, we're going to take a look at the accessories, my friends. So for the accessories, we just get these right here. And these are translucent blue plastic. Take a look at that. And they've been sprayed with a shimmering silver spray right there. And the shield right here does have an additional piece that's glued onto the front for this gem. Maybe it's an additional piece. I don't know. It's really hard for me to tell and see, but I could see that this is a piece that's glued on. This is the handle piece right here, which may include this gem right here. And then the sword is just one solid piece. It's very soft material. You can see mine's already kind of warped just because of the way it was in the packaging. Yeah, it's just really nice looking, I think. You know, for Origins, I think it's fantastic. I think this is beautiful. It's epic, actually. Speaking of Origins, let's go into our comparison, my friends. So here on my right is the She-Ra Princess of Power action figure from the cartoon collection that we got previously. She was a standalone, and she came inside of a She-Ra Princess of Power style packaging for cartoon collection. Very beautiful. This is, they're both Origins action figures, but we can see that the faces are identical. Yeah, even from the side profile here, the faces are identical. The tiaras are identical. They're that soft material here. And this one looks a little bit bigger because the nature of her hairstyle on the original release here on my right side. And you could see the capes, right? I told you I had put the She-Ra Princess of Power Masterverse cape on there. It's kind of squared off, kind of goofy looking. This one looks a lot nicer and reminds me more of what it looked like in the show. You can see it just kind of looks like a choker necklace, essentially. It's made out of like a gold ring somehow. I don't know how she's getting that around her neck, but she does. And you can see that the dresses are exactly the same. Yeah, the sculpts are definitely the same. The cut on the dresses is a little bit different. You can see the side cuts right there. The newer one cuts, it like makes a curve up towards her belly button, and the other one's just kind of straight up as far as the cuts go in the dress. The legs are the same, though the original release, it's a lot shinier in person. And, you know, this just stands on a shelf, so it's not from wear or tear or anything like that. The boots are the same material. Once you get her arm on right, you can see that the bracers are exactly the same. The hand sculpts are the same. These are essentially the same figure except for the hair, my friends. Ooh. Again, I wish they just gave her a different expression, man. That would be cool. And maybe the ability to change the hair per figure so that you can switch up the expression. That'd be kind of cool too. But who knows? Maybe we'll get more stuff from this. This is obviously selling out, so Mattel should know that there's a demand for the cartoon collection. Like, folks want this stuff. We want this stuff as fans. This is amazing. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. And honestly, the hair of this one is just so thick and so epic looking. It doesn't make any sense. Just beautiful. It looks like a toy in and of itself. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just very cool. And the shape too, like it's kind of blowing in the wind, like she's on Swiftwind and she's kind of flying all over the place, you know, just very awesome. Wonderful. So that's it, my friends. Next up, we're going to take a toy photograph. But thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope that you enjoyed the Toy Box Nostalgia unboxing and review of the 2025 Mattel exclusive release of She-Ra Princess of Power and Swiftwind for Cartoon Collection. I sure did. I think it's beautiful. I'm glad I figured out Swiftwind's legs. They actually look a lot better now, the rear legs. So if you want yours to look the same, just make sure that you have them like in this position right here, in this configuration, if you want them to look more like horse legs, right? Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, my friends, and sticking to the end. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, grab your cameras and collect and shoot.